Crystal 1 was a 2-year follow-up of Adagrasib monotherapy in previously treated KRAS G12C non-small cell lung cancer patients. The background to this study is that Adagrasib has received accelerated approval by the US FDA for the treatment of previously treated KRAS G12C mutated non-small cell lung cancer patients based on the phase 2 cohort A of Crystal 1 trial. In this cohort, 116 patients were treated with adagrasib at a dose of 600 milligrams BID. And in these patients, a response rate of 43% and a median duration of response of 8.5 months was observed. What I presented at the World Congress of Lung Cancer conducted in Singapore from September 9 to the 12th was a 2-year follow-up of a pooled analysis of 132 patients that included patients from the phase 1 dose escalation, dose expansion cohorts of Crystal 1, as well as the previously mentioned phase 2 cohort A. Again, all patients were treated with adagrasib at a dose of 600 milligrams BID, and the median follow-up on these patients was approximately 27 months. What we found in these 132 patients is that the median progression-free survival with adagrasib was 6.9 months, and the median survival was 14 months, with a 2-year survival of 31%. The 2-year progression-free survival was approximately 13%. We also looked at the different subsets to understand if the efficacy of this long-term efficacy of adagrasib differed based on presence of co-mutations as well as presence of baseline CNS metastases. And what we found was efficacy was observed across all subsets based on co-mutations, and it varied with a median survival of approximately 5.7 months in patients with KIP1 co-mutated tumors to about 18 months in patients with P53 co-mutated tumors. Similarly, benefit was observed in patients with baseline CNS metastases with a median progression-free survival of 6.9 months, similar to the overall median progression-free survival observed in the overall patient population. Finally, we looked at safety, and we found no new safety signals with this long-term follow-up. Importantly, among patients who received the drug within 30 days of receiving a checkpoint inhibitor, there were no grade 3, 4 hepatotoxicities observed. In the overall population, only one patient discontinued the drug due to a grade 3 hepatotoxicity. Finally, also in terms of safety, there were no adverse events observed in patients who received the drug for 1 year or longer, suggesting that this long-term treatment with this drug doesn't lead to any cumulative toxicity. So our conclusion from this 2-year follow-up of adagrasib monotherapy in previously treated KRAS G12C mutated non-small cell lung cancer patients treated in the Crystal 1 trial was that this does demonstrate that adagrasib provides clinically meaningful, durable clinical benefit with a median survival of 14 months and a 2-year survival of 31%, and that there were no new safety signals identified with this long-term follow-up. Adagrasib is being evaluated in a randomized phase 3 study in this patient population in Crystal 12, where patients are randomized to adagrasib versus docetaxel. And this study will confirm or refute, will be a confirmatory trial to the results observed in the Crystal 1 trial. KRAS G12C, KRAS mutated lung cancer patients have not had a targeted therapy option available and it is the most common gene altered subset among non-small cell lung cancers. And among the KRAS mutated non-small cell lung cancer, KRAS G12C constitutes 40% of those tumors. And so this is an important patient population for which the only treatment options we had was chemotherapy and immunotherapy, and there was no targeted therapy option available. Now that we do have a targeted two drugs approved, sotorasib and adagrasib, it is important to note what is the long-term outcomes with these drugs. Originally, when these drugs were approved, they were approved on data that had a median follow-up of approximately 8 to 10 months. And so now to have a median follow-up of over 2 years with adagrasib is clinically very relevant in that we see that even with this longer follow-up, the efficacy observed in the initial results holds up. In fact, the median survival of 14 months appears somewhat better than the initial reported median survival of 12 months. And we also now show that there doesn't appear to be any cumulative toxicity. And so these long-term results are very meaningful and provide and support the use of these drugs in use of adagrasib in previously treated KRAS G12C mutated non-small cell lung cancer patients. We are, I feel, only at the beginning of treating KRAS G12C patients with targeted therapy, and hopefully this will also lead to development of targeted therapy for other KRAS mutation positive non-small cell lung cancer patients. And I do think that further development is not only going to occur through potentially more potent KRAS G12C inhibitors, but also by very smart and strategic combination treatments. And I think that the expectation is that we could even do better than the results we get with single agent therapy.